Hi, thanks again, Lisa, for judging for us tonight. So I think many of us know you, but for those new members and anyone else, so Lisa began taking photography courses at the MIT Photography Lab in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and once in California, she continued her photography studies at Chabot College, UC Extension Santa Cruz, and Photo Central. And her photographs have been published in Lenswork, Sun Magazine, Birmingham Literary Magazine, and Three Elements. So Lisa's philosophy well, her background's in adult education. She's taught photography along with many other subjects to adults, and she approaches judging as a teacher, believing that first and foremost, everyone needs to be encouraged in their photographic journey. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Bill.
And we can start.
Journalism, basic plus intermediate, 3 images.
Okay, thank you.
Keepers of the flame, a delicate dance between a destructive force and a delicate shell.
And that's a great title to go with this image. And it's very well photographed, especially because of where the faces are and how well lit the two main faces are, the man on the left and the man facing the camera. And it's just caught, the action is caught at just the right moment, which is also very, very important. And in journalism, you can't crop or manipulate the image at all. So you can lighten and darken the image. And so the other people, we can see them, but they're not distracting at all. They kind of blend into the darkness. And that's important so that the light stays on the faces and on the flame, and is very well composed as well. Thank you.
This 547-acre century-old private ranch in Bodega Bay was purchased by the Wildlands Conservancy to protect its biodiversity. The new Estero Americano Coast Preserve is now open to the public.
Okay, I recently went to a judge's training, and titles became a pretty important topic of discussion. And for this particular image, it's a lovely image. It's lovely composed, it's lovely exposed, and depth of field, all that's working. But what's missing for me in the title is what type of biodiversity in particular. And I think that would be really helpful to connect the title to the information, because it's almost kind of like nature, where the viewer wants to learn something. I mean, we learn something here overall, but what exactly, especially when entering a nature image in journalism, it's almost like you have to be held to a higher standard, because it's very hard for nature to compete with people images. But other than that, it's a lovely image. Okay, thank you.
Goodwill override evil.
And this is really powerful with the red, black, and white. And those are colors that are very important in the formation of our vision. So it really, really grabs our eye. One thing you're going to hear a lot from me tonight, and I apologize if I need to. I went to a lecture the other night and the woman started, I once was told I needed to apologize, because I'm going to be talking a lot about cropping and really taking time to look at your image to see how much is really needed. How much do I need to get my message across? Because sometimes less is more. So just play with this image a little bit and see if you need the whole ferry building in there. If this were a vertical panoramic, I think the message would even be more bold, especially with that red. And the title itself, it almost to me gives the perspective of the photographer. Good will overcome evil. But I see her banner on there with the word fascist on it, and they were evil, So we have this evil good in the same image playing off each other. Um, so maybe what march is she at? What else is going on here? Just a little more description, maybe even about why is she there? I mean, we know why she's there, but where did she come from? Um, but otherwise, it's again another really strong journalism photograph. Okay.
Journalism Advanced, one image. Jelly Belly Factory, one of four. At the fulfillment center in the Jelly Belly factory in Fairfield, California, robots and conveyor systems handle packaging and sorting. Little human labor is needed. 2 of 4. These drums called pans are used in the panning process. Candy centers are coated with syrup, dried, repeatedly layered to build up the shell, and then polished. 3 of 4. Green apple jelly bellies are being tumbled. Some fall downward through gaps or off the edge. Thus, they are sorted to ensure uniform size and remove defective pieces. 4 of 4. As candies move past, the worker removes misshapen, discolored, cracked, or otherwise imperfect beans. Belly flops can be purchased at the factory for a reduced price.
And this is a lovely overview of this whole process. And I love how the photographer takes us through and ends up with the discarded jelly beans. It's just a really fun, and informative, by the way. The titles were spot on. Journalistic story, and descriptions of everything. So here's the overview. Let's go to the next one. And here one person shows up. And this is just lovely lighting in really close. He's got his arm in the pit, and I'm assuming that's all the insides of the jelly that are being coated. And again, lovely capturing of the image and that light in this. Okay, and the next one. And it's fun to see that the jelly beans are actually moving by the shadows of them coming down out of this part of the machine where they get sorted and tumbled. And the last one. And again, another human. And the colors play off great here, the purple against the yellow. Um, and ends up there. And I think it was we can buy the imperfect beans. Who would have known? Okay, thank you. And I'm going to run back and close my window because of the barking dog.
I just wanted to say hello. Can you hear me now?
Okay, we're good.
Great.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Okay. Journalism Masters, 3 images. Scarification, large ear and lip holes are common among the Mercy. Decorative discs are usually inserted for beautification, but these women do their daily chores without discs inserted. Ethiopia.
And this title and the image, again, they pair so well. We have just a lovely, lovely close-up view and the background view and different members of the family. And it's just lovely. And we learn a lot, at least I did. I mean, look at the lips. It's something so unusual. And I would think this would fit in travel as well. But it fits here just as well. And I could just stand and look at this image and still see more things about these people. Very well done. Okay.
Como straw belts, one of 2. Kokuin Garden in Japan uses an ancient method of pest control to avoid the use of pesticides. In mid-October, rice straw belts are placed around pine trees. 2 of 2. Cold weather drives pests down the tree to seek a protected place to overwinter. In late February, the belts will be removed and burned to prevent reinfestation.
Okay, and again, it starts out with an overview. And my first impression here was, oh, I want to see those belts more closely. And that comes to us in the next section. But this shows us some of the landscape of Japan that's in the background, and then the trees in the foreground. And I want to know what happens next. And so the photographer brings us to this really nice close-up to show to show us the straw. One question I have though is what kind of pests? Because I'm trying to visualize, do the pests go down behind that? Or is it the larvae or are they beetles? So I'd like to know exactly, who goes where. Do they live in the bark or in the tree? So maybe just that little bit more would add a little more punch, but it's a strong two sequence image for journalism. Okay.
Where are the school-age children? One of three. About 30% of the Mongolia population are nomadic herders living in gurs in remote areas far from the nearest school. Two of three. Only children under 6 years old live in their parents' gur. This Mongolian gur has moved several times in a grazing season. Three of three. Mongolia offers free education to children from age 6, but children need to leave home to attend a boarding school like the one shown in the distance.
Okay. The title here for the series is Where Are the School-Age Children? And kind of like a story, I want to learn right off what children I want to learn something about where the children are. And because I think in this case, you don't need to lead in with an overview, yes and no, but I'm still waiting to wonder where are the children. And so I thought the first slide's important to begin to tell us where they are or why they're not here, maybe right away. But I think it's an important image in the series because it gives us so much information about the landscape, about where they live, about the harshness of their environment. So I think just a little editing to tell us the where, or maybe a little bit of a different title. In this, here we go. You bring us right to the children. That's great. And here now I finally learn that the children under 6 years old stay at home. And it just kind of, made my heart feel sad. And a lovely, again, composition, the expressions on the children. We learn a lot about their clothing. And then bringing us to another overview in the third slide. And here is, I think, the gist of the whole essay is that the other kids are sent away from home to this boarding school. And so you gave me the punch on this slide. That was really important and very powerful. Okay.
Pictorial. Basic plus intermediate 10 images. Almost unnoticed. Soft curves illuminated by light.
Now, quite a lovely photograph and a nice soft title for it as well. And this is a situation where you don't always need three. So I'm really glad. I think you all know that rules are meant to be broken. And I'm sure this was not an easy photograph to take, and yet it looks so delicate and like it would have been easy. But the photographer kept saturation of the middle of the flower and of the stem. Very, very well done. Okay.
Monster hunting. Navigating mavericks on a big day.
I love the gesture. If you've ever listened to Nevada Weir, she'll always talk about in journalism the importance of the gesture, and if that left arm wasn't out there pointing, we'd be missing a lot of information. So it really adds to the story. One thing here that's a good exercise is instead of cropping off the bottom, crop off the whole top to where the kelp is. And so you're left with just a bottom row of kelp and ask yourself, what's in this space in the photograph? Is that giving me information? And I think you'll see that there's not a lot of information in the foreground here, but there is as soon as the white water starts. So you don't necessarily need all of that in the foreground. And because it's blurry, it's a little bit distracting because you've got the lovely people with the gesture, with the focus on the water and the waves coming in. That's where I want to keep my eye. Okay, thank you.
Light and steam collide.
And this is such a lovely photograph with the backlighting, especially, and the tone of the gold and the different gradation of the steam coming out of his nostrils. And at first I thought, well, where's the eye? How important is the eye of the horse? And I realized it's not important. If that eye had been included, if the rest of the head had been included, this photograph would not have been taken. And very delicate handling. We can count the number of whiskers on his head or on his nose, and just so delicately done. The depth of field is perfect. It adds a lot of texture. Look at that cool chain against the straps of the rope. You have a comparison of textures in here. So just a wonderful play of texture and light and design, and really exquisitely done. Okay.
Utah Badlands. These Jurassic sediments were deposited in a shallow sea 150 million years ago. The salt from that sea still resides in these strata, preventing any vegetation from growing.
These are almost like waves. I mean, just lovely, lovely pattern. This is an incredible image to show how important pattern can add to a composition and add to the design. And the lighting is so well handled as well. It's a very difficult place, I'm sure, to photograph and try to get the correct exposure. But we're fortunate now digitally, we have so much more leeway than just working with the film. And one thing that I think would draw the eye more into this foreground is to crop some off of the top. There's a lot of blank sky up there. I think it's really fortunate there were no clouds. Usually we judges say, oh, if only there were clouds, but I think no clouds really adds to that stark, empty feeling. But I think maybe you could take off and just think about it. Whatever I say here tonight is photographer's choice. I'm just one voice out of many, many voices. But just think of maybe half off, and then it accentuates these leading lines, bringing us into the image. Okay, thank you.
Donatus plexippus, monarch butterfly resting on a branch. My backyard when I lived in San Jose.
Um, I think for this is a beautiful pictorial image. And in the title, I don't think we know that we need to know that it was in your backyard unless this was entered in nature where it's really important to know where something was taken. And I kind of wish we could change the titles if we go from one category to another, but that's just my personal opinion because this is really a gorgeous image. The butterfly is perfectly sharp. The exposure is really nice. There's the filling of the frame with all the branches coming off the main stem. The one thing in order to keep our eye on this butterfly is maybe crop off some of that top. There's a little bit of orange in the left top corner that competes with the orange in the butterfly. And there's a bit of yellow as well in that area that's brighter than the butterfly. And our eyes like to move to where the color is light. But other than that, it's a very, again, delicate. The delicacy of the scene has been captured. Okay.
Spring's first breath.
And this is another capturing of the delicacy of a branch. But if you think back on the image we just saw, what if there were more branches in here? I find it, for me, hard with this type of photography because it doesn't fill up a lot of the space, and yet it's something I'm just so drawn to. And I wonder, I love the background is almost inviting us to have more imagery back there. And I would maybe suggest researching Chinese or Japanese paintings or photographs of cherry blossoms and how do they handle something like this? This could be something you could duplicate and enlarge, but then fade it out so you just fill up more space. You have the same image in the background, but a lot less faded, and this against it to draw your eye a little more back and forth. And at the very top, this is really minor, but sometimes some of these minor things can really improve a photograph. You see that stem coming down, and then there's a little nodule going out to the right. And if the photographer, whoever finds themselves in this situation, just take off that little bit of a knob. For some reason, the eye then tends to stay more with the curve of the blossom. That's at least my eye. You know, maybe my eye is trained in all the little details. But again, lovely background. It's called bokeh. The softness back there. And just beautifully captured for what you've done. Okay.
Fleeting moments of color and light.
And for pictorial, I'm finding we're able in pictorial to manipulate the colors and the vibrance and the contrast and everything. And if this was purposely done, for me, and it might not be for other people, again, it's always what does the photographer want to show us? I find it a little overdone. And in one sense, there's that purple and blue competing against the orange background. And my eye doesn't know where to rest because all these colors are screaming for attention. The purple, the blue, the orange, the bridge, and the lights on the bridge. So maybe a little less saturation or vibrance. I find as I get older and my eyes are changing, I want to add more vibrance to my images. So it's always good to maybe cut back a little and or get some feedback from someone to see if that's happening. Or if this is something that I really want, and I really want to kind of say, wow, this is excellent, and this is my vision in my colors, then go for it. It has that neon effect. And the one thing on the lower left, I don't think you need there's a big black shadow. And also on the right, a black shadow. You probably don't need all that if you really want to emphasize the lights. Okay, thank you.
Beneath the quiet brim.
And this is such a quiet image. And he not looking at the camera adds such an aura of mystery. And the texture again is palpable in this image between the texture in the hat, the texture and the texture on the beard. And the lighting is so well handled on his face, just beautifully done. The one thing that's hard for me to tell is on the rim of the hat going off to the left, it looks like some detail was lost, and I think it would be easy enough to clone in a little bit of the texture over in that left corner of the hat. But a lovely shadow on the face and on his body, and to have such a wonderful range of light really makes this an exceptional portrait. Okay.
The recent rains have painted our Sonoma Hills a luxuriant green. Looking out across them to the Petaluma River Basin with Mount Tam in the distance is a feast for the eyes.
And it is, and those clouds are really important, I think, in this image as well. And the green, it really is that lush and a wonderful time of day to be there to get the slanting rays of the sun and the really nice long shadows adds a lot of depth to the image. The one thing to look at and maybe consider with the three trees at the bottom, I once had a photographer, he taught view camera, and he always felt that at the base of a tree, we need to see the base of the tree. And that left tree doesn't have a base. So it's a little, it's a little unbalancing for me. And maybe, and I just say maybe crop just a little bit that green up to on the right hand side in the foreground. There's that little bit of green. It may work better for you. Just cropping off the green so all the trunks don't have a base instead of trying to have all of them. But a little bit of that is the camera angle and the way the trees are positioned. And so we're really limited at times how we can place our perspective. I wish I could say, tree, would you walk over there a few more inches, but they never do. Okay, well photographed. Thank you.
Face to the sun.
And this is, again, delicate comes to mind to me as well with the sunflowers and being able to come upon a gorgeous field of sunflowers like this is extravagant. I am a little confused by the title, Face to the Sun, because the sun seems to be in the background to the right off the area of the image, and yet the sunflowers are facing us. So it's curious for me what's going on, and I'm finding myself more thinking about that than enjoying spending more of my time taking in the photograph. I think if it were the tide a little bit facing away from the sun or whatever, you can maybe play around with that a little bit. Again, cropping may help this. The center of the image goes right across the halfway point, and I think in landscapes, usually, it's best not to have the horizon smack dead center like this. There's also, I think it's a water tower back to the right in the middle that could easily come out because that shape sticks out amongst the shape of the trees. It's not a natural element. So maybe a little cropping and get rid of that, and maybe a tweak of the tile. But other than that, again, it's such a phenomenal place to be, and I can just feel what it must have been like to be there. Okay, next.
Pictorial advanced 2 images. Clouds like waves.
And they are, and there's such a sense of nature and the strength of nature. Clouds I think of as ephemeral, but these really do look like ocean waves. So it's such an appropriate title. And there's just one minor thing I recommend because the composition to me is really great. You got a little bit of the foreground, then yes, there's a line across the middle, but there's a sweep up of the wave, takes us up into the upper third of the image. So it works well this way. But down to the bottom right, there's that little pole. And just that one little pole to take out, we take out that non-nature element. Okay, thank you.
Shades of autumn.
And this image is another one that again, it seems too vibrant or too unnatural green for me, or the green and the orange. There's a range of colors here. We have the beautiful rose of the grapevines, but then there was like competition with the clouds in the sky, and they're competing both in shape and color and intensity. So for me, there's not a gradual transition back in all of a sudden, boom, we're in the clouds. And so I'm not sure what the most important part of the photograph is for the photographer, or in other words, what is capturing my attention right now? Is it the foreground, the middle ground, or the background? And then make that the focus of your image. And again, cropping may strengthen the foreground for you. And you can decide, just play around, see if taking off some of those clouds simplifies the foreground better so that my eye's not going back and forth. But the composition, I don't think, could be better for where you were. Okay, thank you.
Pictorial masters 18 images. Portal to Neowise.
And this is one of those wow photographs. And I'm not sure what lengths the photographer went through to take this photo or compose this photo, but it is really a wonderful photograph. I don't think we'd see the comet that big, at least I didn't, but that doesn't mean this person doesn't know astronomical photography and was in a place that was dark enough to get such an incredible view. But everything's working. We've got the framing of the rocks and the direction of the neowise moving across the sky, and the stars in the background are not blurred. Just beautifully, and well, how can I say, educationally, I think, because I think a lot of knowledge has to go into this type of photography done. Okay.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
And we sure do need this title for this. And this is such a humorous photograph, even though they're butt shots. Um, yeah, I mean, if the title were, three mules, it wouldn't be the same as the title. Bringing the photographer's sense of humor into this, and it all pulls together really well. Because I'm sure you hear our judges say, "Oh, you can't cut off an animal in half," and yet to have the two on the left looking, perfect timing in the moment. Okay, thank you.
Waves ashore.
And this image, it's complex, and yet it's one of these images to look at and to study. And I probably shared with you, I once read that we should study photograph for 7 minutes. And I know none of us have that time anymore, but at least revisit a photograph every so often, to have the gravel, the gray going into the blue, going into the white, that's kind of like the transition of color from the darker mid-level shade to a blue shade mid-level to the white shade, and then keeping us in the image with a little gray pulling our eye back down. The photographer chose a bit square format, or pretty more square than horizontal, which was a very good choice. The color and depth of field were very well handled. And if this was, I'm assuming this was all one photograph. Um, Again, another difficult photograph to take because it looks like you got to be on your belly for this. Nicely handled. There's layers here. Work really well. That's another compositional element, is to layer one element over the other. So between the layers and the color transition, very well done. Okay.
Elephant 2.
This is so emotional to see an animal like this missing a tusk, and maybe haven't taken a mud bath with his forehead all, I think that's mud anyway. Um, and to have a portrait of an elephant, and that may be something about portrait of an elephant might be a little more connecting to your audience instead of elephant two, because that means, for me, that means I have two photographs or more of this elephant, and this is the second one. But even and but for us, I don't connect so well with that title. But other than that, and that's really minor. This is such a strong photograph. The photographer has the elephant against the background. The lighting is just terrific coming up from above. And there's a lot of just a lot of emotion that's emitted through this photograph. And thank you.
Winter morning on the Merced.
And this is another very well composed image in Yosemite. And what's really nice about it is that I've never seen this perspective before. And the photographer, I think, went to great lengths to give us this perspective at the right time of day, with just nice calm water, with the clarity of the reflection in the water, and depth of field and a little bit of a wide angle, or maybe a lot of a wide angle. It just captures this moment and the quietness very well. The water is darker than the sky. The sky does not have cyan. A lot of JPEGs pull cyan in, and I think we might see some more, some other ones, images that have cyan sky, so just be aware of that. But this is perfectly executed. Okay, thank you.
Wildebeest at sunset, Kenya.
And a wonderful, wonderful silhouette. And then the light backlighting his beard. And you can see both of his horns. And so very well captured. And a little bit of the reddish and orange of what the sunsets are like in Kenya. And again, just ask yourself, do I really need everything up at the top? Would it maybe more of a panorama style work so that the viewer, is looking not at so much orange, but at the subject that you want us to look at, which is the wildebeest. So maybe just a little bit off the top, all the way down to maybe half of it, or none of it, if you don't want to. Just a suggestion. Okay, thank you.
Wartime blues.
And I think what captures me, maybe this is what captured the photographer, was the blue and then the pink and then the lights and the way the lights are positioned. I mean, such a wonderful display of color and design. And just the way his hat is also reflecting that purplish pinkish and on the back of his head. It's just unfortunate that it's so busy at the bottom and there's a music stand in his back. And there's no easy way to deal with that except moving, if you could have, which maybe you probably couldn't have, to move to get more of a shot of his face, because then you lose having his head position right at that intersection of all the lights. And yet cropping, you don't want to crop off, so much that you're losing, 2/3 of your image. That doesn't work either. So, I would be happy with what was caught at the time because, again, the exposure, the depth of field, the moment, the composition are all working well. Okay, thank you.
Yosemite Falls, sunset.
And again, just a beautiful, quiet, or capturing of the quietness and the solitude of Yosemite. And of course, sunset gives that beautiful golden glow um, to the image. Um, and I think depending on your particular screens, um, I've been playing around with the display on my screen as well. There's lovely color coming through, and the shadows are open, and it really conveys the stillness of the area. This is rather minor, and maybe the only thing you might want to ask yourself is, do I need so much of that dead tree coming in on the left? Maybe just a tiny bit of cropping on the left, because sometimes just a tiny bit makes a lot of difference, and it may bring our eye a little closer to right to that waterfall, which is just so beautifully exposed, and the mist coming off it is really, really pretty. Okay, thank you.
The iconic Golden Gate Bridge at dark.
And this is a very unusual photograph of Golden Gate Bridge, and very well captured with the red reflecting in the fog, and that stillness of the water. Probably a pretty 20-second exposure, enough to just smooth out the water and soften the whole image that way. And it's a surreal, a sense of being surreal quality to this image. It's not often that we see this type of an image of the bridge. One really minor thing I just noticed right now, and really minor, is right to the end of the bridge off to the left, there's a little bit of a white area, just barely. And it's not that distracting because I didn't notice it till now, but you may want to think about maybe just darkening that. But again, that's a really minor, minor thing. It's beautifully captured. Okay, thank you.
Resting. Got a room with a view.
And this is sort of to me like an old time photograph. I mean, it's a fun photograph. It's a great title. With the image, there's more information with the birds in the water, adds a nice element to the sleeping. I can't think of the name, sea lion. But again, do you need, just think about it, do you need all of the top part? Because again, here, the separation between the sand and the water is about halfway through the image. And if a little bit was taken off the top, that raises the horizon and just makes it, I think, compositionally a little better for us to see the sea lion or elephant seal, I'm sorry, more. But the vignetting works really well for you, and it did very well handling of the light. Okay, thank you.
Dawn's silent trek.
And again, yeah, dawn and sunset. I love seeing all these images taken at that magical time of day. And I think this is an image where, for me, a lot of the shadows are very cyan. Um, and so I think if you want a more natural, for me, a more natural look at that beautiful, that there's the light in the color of the towers, maybe back off on the cyan a little bit, uh, because it just seems to be a bit unnatural. And like I said, JPEGs tend to add much more cyan, and so you need to purposely correct for that. Compositionally, this works wonderfully. We have lines coming in from the left, going to the right, bringing our eye back around out to the left, and then back out up to the horizon. And this is cropped very well. There's very little in the horizon or in the sky, and so that's not distracting. And depending again on your display or the sky maybe can be darkened a little bit, or maybe not, but that's your choice. But you've got really beautiful shadows and lighting and gradations of light are working really well in this image. Okay, thank you.
Monkey love.
Good.
Saddleback. Pardon?
No, go ahead.
Monkey love. Saddleback tamarins in the Peruvian Amazon.
Um, beautifully done, captured. The eyes are so important, the claws, the legs, everything perfect. Perfect in color, in not losing detail in the darks or in the lights, getting the catch light in the eyes, and very curious. It's just a very curious way of being. And, motherly love and monkey love. I mean, that's very powerful emotion, and that comes across in this image. Okay, thank you.
Pelican stretch.
Yeah, the panorama was a wonderful choice for the format of this image. It gives the pelican a lot of room to stretch its wings, and then the three pelicans on the right, they're really fun because each one is doing something different, and so there's a lot of interest going on. For me, there's that one distracting element, and that's the beak or of the pelican and back of the ones with his wings stretched. Um, I'm wondering if that were to be not there, removed somehow, if that would make it a stronger composition, because it's such a sharp triangular shape, and there aren't any sharp shapes like that elsewhere in the image. Well, except for the beak of the ones with his wings open. So that's just something to think about. But otherwise, you did a great job with this image. Thank you.
Andean poetry in color and light.
And again, so delicate and just such a lovely bird. And um, it's unusual coloring, and the tail is absolutely fabulous and well lit. The red stem adds a lot of interest and that contrast with the green. Um, Again, just ask yourself, do I need everything off to the right? Would that add more to bring the viewer's eye back up to the bird itself? And um, because the bird is so isolated and yet it's much more patterned on the right. And that flower in the background works really well too. It's not distracting and it complements the color of the forehead of the bird. Very well done. Thank you.
Wave back.
Another humor. That's really cute. The square format, I think, is a great way to capture the shape that, as you all can see, is an S curve. The one, I wonder if you wanted to give us more information about the colors. I think it would help to um, have more brightness to the image because my sense is there's a lot of lost detail in the corners, in the bottom corner. There's a lot of dark that almost looks black. And I think adding a little bit more light will bring out a lot of the different shades of blues and teals. And again, I've added on my display, added more light and less light. And maybe you did, maybe with the light on my display higher, there is more detail in the corners there. But it's a really fun composition. Uh, with the top of the wave being in the top third, and there's almost like an eye there in the middle of the wave. Well photographed. Okay, thank you.
Ahead of the blur of relative motion.
And this is a great contrast between motion and non-motion. And there's another S curve coming around. And remember, photographers are always talked about S curves. And I'm sure I've mentioned this before. Artists use other shapes like T's and H's and Z's. And so we can just copy them and add that to our plethora of compositional ways to make compositions interesting. And so there's a lot of motion that leads the eye, and we can rest on the car that stopped and study it while the others are still moving and out of focus, and they're not as much, we're not able to study them. So it gives us a little lesson in motion and not motion. One thing up in the top right-hand corner, there's a little triangular element that I think can very easily come out, and then let the eye roam a little more. Okay, thank you.
Flight at first light.
And again, just the softness and the sense of solitude and quiet really come across with this photo as well as several other ones that we've seen tonight. And the light on the wings is just gorgeous and very, very faintly coming through the wing on the right. And it just adds to the delicacy of the bird, of the feathers, and being in flight like it is. His feet completely in focus. Again, the focusing is perfect and the background blurred out. So our eyes, so the subject, we can't help but be able to stay with the subject because nothing else is distracting us. Very well done. Thank you.
Ancient mariner.
Again, another great title. And what a composition. I wonder, I can't think of people we used to pay. If I pay you $1, will you pose for me? Because he gave you certainly the best pose ever on that rock. Um, Between the iguana and the rock, I think that's just beautifully handled. What needs to be in focus is in focus. Again, you can see the scales on him and the things on his back sticking up straight. The name escapes me at the moment. But again, I think that blue seems a little unnatural in the water, almost a little, again, cyanish. And there's two bodies of land at the horizon level. And I think the photographer probably kept them in to keep the eye in. Um, and it's 50-50 for me, leave them in or take them out. But again, that's really minor. The focus is on smack center, and that's where we want our eye to go. But also the background may need, in order to have our eye stay on the subject matter, tone down the background somewhat, because it is bright and our eye goes there and we want to stay with this animal. Okay, thank you.
Okay, we'll take a 5-minute break.
Let's see here. Quick,
Sorry.
sorry.
I couldn't,
Something.
couldn't see if you were there or not.
Yeah, no, it's a text from a neighbor, an emergency with their house. They're out of town, so I was trying to respond. I apologize. Monochrome, basic plus intermediate, 4 images. Wallace Falls, Gold Bar, Washington, is cascading, 3-tiered, 265-foot drop waterfall divided into 3 distinct sections, lower, upper, and middle.
And it's a very good composition of the waterfall coming down all the way through the image. And there's a lot of contrast in the image. And I'm wondering, how am I trying to say this? There's a lot of darkness. I think for black and white, I look for kind of a tonal range, and with all this vegetation, I think there's a potential for a lot of nice different blacks and grays leading up to the waterfall. So I think if you wanted to get that sort of tonality and accentuate the texture of the plants, that would be a good way to do it. Contrast can really pop something out, but you can also go over the edge where it pops out a little too much so that it's hard to read the whole photograph. But there's some nice luminosity in here. There's a lot of different shapes going on, and I think a little working with the tonality range would be fun, and just make it a little more interesting. Okay, thank you.
Rhino portrait, Resting Thunder.
And this is, again, we know exactly what the subject matter is here. And it works very, very well. Despite all the shadows, we call these open shadows. As opposed to the shadows in the last one, they were kind of dark and dense. This is called open. And you get to see what's in the shadows. I mean, how often in life do we get to see what's in the shadows? And yet we can do that in photography, and very well seen and composed. And I hope you are far away from this guy. He looks dangerous. Okay, nicely done.
This elderly oak seems to have provided its own crooked cane for support, attracting a pair of hawks who find it a welcome roost from which to survey the fields below.
Okay, and this is it's a lovely, lovely tree and a great capture with those birds up in the top. That adds just the right interest in the image. Um, the contrast seems to be almost a silhouette and almost open so that we see a lot of textures. So it's kind of in the middle. And I think that's where the photographer wanted us to be. If you wanted to keep our eye going up the tree to see those birds, I think something needs to be done with that big branch on the left side. It looks like an upside down question mark. That's such a bold shape, and I'm wondering if there's a way to remove the head of the Y, so to speak. Um, just because that element, or actually it could be a number 5 too, is just drawing my eye to it. But other than that, you've got the tree in there really well, and again, the birds are in the right place for you. Okay, thank you.
And I apologize, it was crooked cane. Right. Anyway, just before cell phones.
And another black and white image that title matches really well, and there's a lot of different shades of light here, and you can see the tonalities on the left, the darker chair and the light falling on the chair and the man. Just wonderful, wonderful tonalities. And it does bring us back into the time just before cell phones. Um, and the expression on his face, I really don't see a way to improve this because I just think everything's pretty well captured and says it all. Thank you.
Monochrome advanced, 4 images. Jelly bean sorter.
And this is a standalone black and white image. And it's interesting because I know we can't help but compare to that journalist sequence. But uh, for a technical magazine, this is a great image. The jelly beans are coming right down towards us. They have the curve of the line. We see a lot of pattern of the machinery on the right-hand side, and then the horizontal lines in the back. So it's a square format as well, which really helps. And the lighting and everything, again, handled very well. Okay, thank you.
Look in the vault. That's where the silver is found.
And it's a very intriguing image. And of course, I think our eyes will go right into the middle, trying to discern what's going on with all those dials. And if it is a vault, then that must be a way to unlock things or unlock the vault. And the photographer has kind of separated it into threes. But I think there's a lot of competition between each section. So my question would be, do we need both the top and the bottom? Just something to think about and play around with. Because I think, I mean, it's well composed in thirds, but how can we simplify it more because there is a lot of pattern in the middle part of this, and I think that's where the interest is. In those three circles at the bottom, it is a complementary to the ones in the middle, so they work really well there. Um, but silver in the vault, I'm not quite sure what that points to unless it's money. But other than that, it's a fun image. Okay, thank you.
Tulip trio.
And that's very nice handling of the light here with the three tulips. And the thought went into the positioning of them as well. Where do I put these three together? They're all at different stages of opening. They're all fresh and they all belong together. Just really, again, the delicacy of the image really is accentuated, especially with a black background. One thing, maybe not to have the stems so long because the stems are almost the same size as the tulip head, not quite, but almost. So if they were cropped a little bit, it may, I think it'll keep the eye on the tulips themselves. Because these lines going out of the bottom tend to draw our eyes down as well, but beautifully handled. Okay, thank you.
Grab and go.
Um, this is a really funny or fun photograph. I really have to admit I don't know what the grab and go means. I wish I did. So for someone like me, I'm not a techie. Um, I don't know if this is a car door handle or a refrigerator handle, or what am I grabbing and where am I going? Um, but the picture itself, regardless of the title, I think is a very intriguing photograph. The chrome and the handling of the light and the reflections is so well done. The black outline is a very nice border for the image, and it's such an unusual design with the horizontal against the vertical lines. I mean, it's a really fun image. It's not high key because there's a lot of dark shadows in there, but almost. And it's just it's a very interesting shape or shapes, I should say. Okay, thank you.
Monochrome Masters, 9 images. Abandoned.
And again, very well seen, well thought out. The camera positioned in a carefully with the posts being all lined up and our eye being drawn down to the window at the end. And there is that sense of being abandoned and being alone. I've seen many images of this sort of building, and the title, I think, really fits well. And I'm wondering if there could be something else, like Minor Whitewood used to say, what more is there? Like, can you envision, say, an old doll, a doll cracked, on the floor or on the windowsill, just to give a human element to such a stark building. And that would differentiate this from others that I've seen. And again, it's just a suggestion. Or somebody walking down in a very long shutter speed so you capture a ghost of an image to bring in that human element that once was, because the title's so appropriate for this. Okay, thank you.
Detail of murky waters.
And this is another one of those images like the other shore photograph, in that looking at it, our eye becomes more we get a lot more discernment as to what this image is. And the title points us to a very important element, detail of murky waters. And so we know we're not looking at um, a large space of water, but there's also that on the right-hand side, those two black rocks or something, they may be maybe a piece of wood or rocks. It's a very important element because that's also part of the detail. And despite the fact that, at first it might look, it's all going back and forth and I can't rest my eye and, oh, there's something on the right, I can rest my eye. And from there, I can enjoy all the rest of the patterns that's going on here. So well seen and well composed. Okay, thank you.
Echo.
Another wonderful title for this image, and we can appreciate, what part of the echo are we listening to? The wonderful mist against the strength of the waves is a great comparative, creating tension. The only thing I can think of in as a composition or lighting is maybe, and again, this is photographer's choice, a little more contrast. And that may or may not change the feel of the image, but it's such a soft image as well as a very emotional image with such strength of the water right in front of us. Okay, thank you.
Three falls from a grotto.
And again, another well positioned perspective from inside the grotto looking out. And the shutter speed for the water was very well chosen. There's no detail lost in the water. And the clouds mimic the shape of the grotto itself, going in that downward right-hand direction. And if you look at the hills, it kind of almost like the clouds lead us to the rest of the water coming down the hills into here. One thing, I think, if you didn't want such a rough edge where the grotto rock meets the sky, you may I'm sure you'd find a way to just kind of soften. There's almost like a black line coming down that may be from over sharpening or may not, or maybe from adding contrast to the grotto. But it looks unnatural, but there's ways that you can easily deal with something like that. But other than that, it's just a nice, beautiful, restful image. Thank you.
Echo of one.
And again, this is an example of where the title brings us into the photograph. One, what does the photographer mean by one? And then we see the person. So titles can say, let's say, lead us into the photograph rather than describe the photograph. I think there's a nuance there in the difference. And it's not easy to do, to decide on titles. That's one of the hardest things for many photographers. But that being said, the sense of scale that the person gives us is very, very important. And again, the tonalities of the landscape are not overwhelming. We've got those open shadows again, the soft gradation of tones, of all the mid-tones going up into the sky. The sky has been darkened down to a certain point, and being a master's, it was very deliberate. And then having the white against the horizon, very nice gradation from the horizon white going up into the gray, going up into the darker sky. Very well composed and handling of the light. Thank you.
Running zebra, Botswana.
Another wonderful capturing of an animal in motion, in movement, in focus, and choosing to add the elements in the background, which is very important to where we are. The title is just pointing us to the zebra, and that's all we need because we in ourselves can take in the background and discern where it is. So the photographer is leaving us room for us to experience instead of being told what the experience is, if that makes sense. But again, beautifully done and captured, wonderful dust rising up from the zebra. And I don't think anything needs to be changed here. Okay, thank you.
Synapse.
And the word that first comes to my mind in synapse is the synapses in our brains. And then I realized, oh my gosh, yes, all those branches in the trees are just like synapse. How cool was that? So very, very, a very fun title and appropriate title for this. The one major drawback to this is whatever's going on in the foreground at the bottom, in the bottom, I am not sure what that white element is. And there's even a little square. So that technically there's something going on here that I'm not sure was at all intended, or was the camera up on a cement uh, bench or a cement wall looking over and just happened to slide in under. I'm not sure, but for me, I think it would be a lot cleaner of an image if that bottom were removed because you have us all, you keep us much more into the synapses of the branches. Okay, thank you.
Moonrise at Half Dome, Yosemite National Park.
And this looks like it was taken with a 4x5 or larger view camera. I mean, it's so well done. Everything's perfect. There's wonderful luminosity on the walls. The moon has detail in it. And I think a lot of us, when we look at an image like this, think about Ansel Adams and all of his work in Yosemite. And those were the days that we would put a 25A filter, a dark red filter on our cameras to get a really, really dark sky. But this photographer chose to go with the lighter sky. That is a good choice, just as well as Ansel Adams with the really dark side. Again, delicately handled. We've got the texture in the sky and just a wonderful, beautiful scene. Thank you.
The Badlands.
And again, the composition is very nice here with a little bit of, with the horizon line way up near the top so that our eye is drawn down into the main subject matter of the image. And it seems a hard time of day. There's a lot of shadows here, a lot of contrast and shadows. And sometimes there's not a lot we can do about that. How do we open up the shadows without overexposing the rest of the image? Because it's almost too contrasty between the darks and the lights here, but it's so hard to manage at times. But there's still detail in those shadows, which is important. And the sky is not blown out. So I think what you had to deal with, you did the best that you could. And it's a very intriguing perspective that you caught. Okay, thank you.
Creative, 4 images, basic plus intermediate. Gilding, Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Just wonderful. Very unusual, very surprising. A lot of creativity went into this image. It's almost like it's been hand manipulated at the top. However this was made, the tools were well used, and just a wonderfully fun photograph. And it bothers me not at all that his left foot is out of the frame. That's, you know, a lot of people would just say, oh, that's too bad. But no, it doesn't matter because everything else is working so lovely. The dark horse against the light background. Um, what a fun and thing. Okay, thank you.
Split, personality.
And again, another excellent title for this image because the whole image is split and very symmetrically. The color tones, the blues and greens or teal and blue, they go together so well. A very good choice to use. And then offset by the white or the buff color in some of the squares. Now, that being said, um, I'm I'm trying in my mind to piece together the photograph. And I'm having a hard time doing so because I don't think I can. And by that I mean each little photograph in this image seems to want to be looked at independently of all the rest. So it doesn't bring me into a unified whole experience. For instance, in that top left, there's the back of a man's head. In the bottom right, there's a woman with sneakers on, and her sneaker goes into the next rectangular block. Um, and in that particular case, I would remove her shoe, the top of her sandal that's in that block. So I'm wondering if there's, rather than trying to do it with several different images, could it be done with just one image? Or maybe it was one image, but for me, it's not folding together. But I think it's real important to keep working on this sort of creative endeavor um, because there's so much potential here, and it's so much fun. And the lastly, I can't really read that image in the middle, and maybe just clearing that, maybe have a face there or something that I can recognize might be all the difference, and it might be all you need. Great job. Okay, thank you.
Dancing drops.
Beautifully seen and photographed, and just an enormous choice of depth of field. Everything's working for this image. The colors are just nice and subtle, and we can rest our eye and enjoy the design of all the drops that are bursting up out of the water there. Simple, and sometimes simplicity is best. Thank you.
To see a world in a grain of sand.
And again, another creative way of seeing the world in a grain of sand. And to have somebody hold it, the crystal ball, so to speak, is also a very fun idea to include all of that. Now, that being said, the image, I think the focus of the image is to see the world. And so I preferred to be able to see more into the ball and gaze more as to what's in it because it's so intriguing. And to do that, one maybe needs to move in closer, has to, or somehow bring the ball closer to the lens so that if that's possible, to get the perspective you want and the depth of field that you want. It's not an easy thing to do. And it's unfortunate that her fingers are a little out of focus because for me, I find that a little distracting. But I think if it all could get in focus, it would just I would have an easier job focusing on that grain of sand. But a wonderful idea. Okay, thank you.
Creative Advanced, 4 images. Wild Gaburbas.
And this is a fun image, and it is creative, that sense of motion that the photographer created. Wonderful play with the orange against the green. And again, these black backdrops really help to isolate the subject matter. So we don't have to work too hard to see what we're looking at, and we can stay with it. And we can stay with this and enjoy the bands of oranges and the flowers and the stripes of greens and blues at the bottom. So it has a lot of interesting parts that we can enjoy here. Okay, thank you.
Coming into Shape.
And another, really nice title here. And the colors are nice and bold. I think it's a really easy on the eye color scheme, so to speak. We don't have complementary colors competing for attention. And so because of that, it makes it easy for us to look longer at an image. There is, for me, there's a part in the little above the center of the photograph at the top. There's a spot, almost a square spot that has no silver in it at all. And I find that stops my eye because it's such a different flow and a different pattern than the rest of the image. So it kind of detracts because it's not flowing into the rest of the image like the rest of the lines are. And because towards the bottom, where they had their big curve above the colored layer, it just really makes the eye easy to travel through the image. So I would keep working with this. You've got wonderful colors and patterns, and just maybe work with that area to see if it can flow a little more into the rest of the image. Okay, thank you.
Afloat.
And this one is a interesting choice of colors because don't quite have complementary colors, and yet that gold yellow on the horizontal bar is really asking for attention. Now, on that bar itself, most of it is this pattern, but on the left, just going in maybe a dozen rows, there's a little bit of a curve that isn't in of dots, that's not in the rest of that pattern on that side. And on the right-hand side, in the blue, there's another, almost like another second pole back there. And so I'm wondering if that's supposed to be there or not, because again, it kind of is disrupting the flow that is so lovely in the blues and the greens and the lime greens of the center. That is just so attractive and is so easy for my eye to look at. And again, you've got those beautiful harmonious colors. So maybe maybe to keep our eye more on the greens and blues, you don't need that bank of yellow on the left. So maybe some of that can, ask what is this telling me? Do I need this part of the photograph? Does it add? Does it take away? Or where does the photographer really want our eye to land? In the blues and greens or on the yellows. So there's a lot of stuff going on here and a lot of fun with the lights and a lot of thought into putting this together. So in that respect, I think it's a wonderful creative image. But just a little more maybe accentuating the rest of that orange. How much do I want it to be there and how much is distracting? But other than that, just lovely patterns in the rest of it as well. Okay, thank you.
A contemplation on the Space Needle as pop art.
And a beautiful presentation with the three images. And this is called a composite image, where you have one slide with more than one image, and that's allowed in creative and several other categories, as opposed to composite or montage is actually when you take two photographs and combine them into one. So this is a great study, a great contemplation, a wonderful concept. And each one is unique in its color, in the handling of the lighting, and just a wonderful way of showing us the three different views and how you as the photographer sees them when staying with them long enough to work with them in these several different ways. Very well done. Okay, thank you.
Creative Masters, 3 images. Forest Light.
And again, just another nice title, leading us into the forest, because we might not know right away that it was a forest. And the handling of the light is very well done. There's no overexposed areas and no underexposed areas. One thing that really captures my attention is on the left-hand side of that darker tree. There's beautiful, beautiful purples. At least my eyes see purple leaves coming up the tree. So in order to, if you wanted to accentuate that part, you've got a nice contrast between those leaves and the bark of the tree. You may not want that left bank of light, very light area. Maybe think about starting at that dark area so the eye is more drawn to that really pretty part of the leaves. And then we're drawn into the branches on the right that start swinging down and add a pattern of a vertical pattern going down, flowing downwards. And then you have that contrasted against the verticals up and down. Very well handled, beautiful little image. Okay, thank you.
Red Lips.
And again, just such a unique title, thought out, because that's the brightest part of the whole image is that red, and you just need a little red in a photograph to grab attention. And it's a wonderful composition. It has such a not such a surreal, sort of old-fashioned, for me, feel to this image. And the photographer applied maybe more than one type of filter, but it's not a filter that you just press a button and the filter does all the work for you. That's not what happened here. There's the vertical, there's the horizontal, there's the face, all different lines and textures in them, and the beautiful softness of the hair. So this was very, very, very carefully manipulated and so very well done. That pole, I think that works. I was wondering, do I want that pole in there? But it adds that other element that just kind of holds it all together in a sense. So I think it's working in there. So again, beautifully composed. And it looks too like the flowers were also maybe composited in. This could be a composite photograph where you had, because right at the bottom of the pole, there's a straight edge. And so that tells me maybe there was some sort of flowers also got moved in, but that's really minor compared to how beautiful the rest of the image comes together, both direction-wise and texture-wise and color-wise. Well done. Thank you.
Tennis, anyone?
And yeah, another great creative way of showing us the tennis balls. And they're just shooting right out at us. And there's two different kinds of tennis balls, so there are slightly different shades of yellow and green. And it's a lot. For me, it's a lot coming out at me or shooting out at me. And I'm wondering if that blue at the bottom it's such a different color than the tennis balls, almost like a neon color. And so that kind of adds to the movement, the bouncing back and forth. I need my eyes to balance between the blue of that light and then the red orange because they're complements. So my eye bounces back and forth between the various colors. And my eyes can't focus to read some of the letters on the tennis ball. So it gives me it's giving me a challenge to take in the photograph. And yet it is so nicely creative and well executed. It's just a really fun thing to do. And I hope the photographer continues to do more like this. Okay, thank you.
Critique feedback, all levels, 2 images. Can you hear me now?
And I'll just give you a second or so to take in this image. We have very unique perspective, and I didn't catch it right away. The photographer's up above looking down at somebody with a cell phone, and all of a sudden, oh, what a great title. Now I get it. And for me, the feeling that comes across from this image is the isolation that we find ourselves in. And here is an older man with a phone wanting to be heard. And who is he talking to? And that probably could very well be something he said that the photographer heard from above. And putting him right in that light is a great place to put him in. And the texture on the white in the center is also very intriguing. Now, what it is, I don't know. And do you need to tell me more? I'm really undecided still at this point. The pink of the rest of the image, it complements that circle really well, but it doesn't give me more information, but it gives me more the feeling of isolation. And if that's what you were looking for, you're very, very successful with that. I think too, this could go in a series of capturing people on their cell phones in the sort of isolation that we can find ourselves in, or this feeling of disconnect. I think it would be a really fun series to develop because it's such a human condition that we find ourselves in now. And being of the older generation, I think it's even has more of an impact for us, or at least for me, being part of the older generation now. Before pre-cell phones to me is the older generation. Okay, thank you.
A winter's day.
And another beautiful, just beautiful, serene, very well composed image. And there's even 4 ducks over to the left that I'm so glad the photographer left in because it just adds another element that's of interest and different. The one thing you might want to try, and again, this is photographer's choice and how you want to present your work, maybe a little contrast because there's such that sheen of fog. And yet that might be exactly what you want. And just a tad of contrast might put it in a place where you don't like it. Compositionally, I think those 2 trees with the lovely reflections are very strong images. I don't have the sense of isolation that I had from the image we just looked at. This, despite the trees being bare, I have much more a sense of peacefulness. So it's really, I think up to us viewers, what we take away when we look at images. And did the photographer for here want to give us that sense of isolation? Maybe, but not near so much as the one before. So again, just beautifully done. I wouldn't change anything except maybe +5 contrast or something if you have Photoshop. Okay, thank you.
Okay, we've covered all of the images. Take another 5-minute break. And then Steve, I think Steve is here. And I think I saw Steve.
Okay, you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Journalism, basic plus intermediate, 2 images. Second place, Stephen M. Key.
Thanks.
I really like this.
Yeah.
Creative sign.
Yeah, it's a really interesting sign.
Sad circumstances.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it looks like there's an art director in this shot.
I think it was Stephen.
Well, yes. I mean, we are often most of the time we're our own art directors, but this,
Yeah. But to get it next to the tower of the Ferry building, that was really nice.
Good composition.
Congratulations to Stephen, first place. Dale.
Oh, Dale.
I love this image.
Yeah, it's really interesting. The
Great
color.
shot. Love this shot.
Yeah, it's really
Me
powerful.
too.
Yeah.
I want that to come back, that event.
Congratulations to Dale.
It makes you realize what a delicate touch you have to keep from burning up the balloon.
Right.
Yeah,
I
it's
hadn't thought about that
amazing more
before.
of them don't go up in flames.
Yeah, no kidding.
Iron fabric.
It looks
Great
like
color of that blue flame.
like they're blowing up a circus.
It's
booth
angle.
or something. Kind of got that circus atmosphere.
Journalism advanced, 1 image, first place.
Oh, Ellen.
Oh,
Ellen.
yeah, Ellen.
Lovely.
Two abilities.
Thank you. That was a fun trip. It was hard to boil it down to just 4.
Oh, I'll bet.
I'll
Yeah.
bet.
Great job.
well done.
You did
This one,
well.
I love how all the different colors are in there.
Yeah.
You got blue gloves, white, you got orange. That last one, that was really cool.
Great shot.
Yeah, and that's nice too.
Yeah. I like the belly flops thing.
Yeah, they have to use human touch for that, right?
I have another photo of this woman when there's no jelly beans going by, and it's from the front. So it's kind of nice. You see her face, but she looks so bored.
Oh,
What a job.
Wouldn't you be?
Kind of a soulless.
yeah.
Listens to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Journalism masters, 3 images, third place. Pat.
Oh, Pat. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. I'd hate to have to send my kids to that boarding school. It's a long ways away. At a
This
young
one I
age,
love.
too.
This is the money shot. I love
Yeah.
it.
This one's beautiful.
They were very cute.
Adorable.
And very
Their
curious.
clothing.
I love the door to that
Yeah.
chair, with the painting on it. It's just beautiful.
It's like a hobbit door.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For the little hobbits. Mhm.
But that's austere.
Yes.
There's a sense of real isolation there, how separated they are from their families.
Yes. And the
Yeah,
school
yeah.
from anything else. There are no communities
Yeah,
there. really.
nothing around.
Looks like a cloud is attached to the flagpole.
Yeah, it does.
It's how they
Right.
warm themselves up for
Actually,
sure.
that may be
Steaming.
smoke.
Yeah,
Steve.
smoke
It's
stuff.
smoke. It's how they
Also
heat themselves. It was
chimney.
cold.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Mm.
Oh,
Second place, Jennifer.
Great set.
oh, great. Thank you. Yeah. That question, it's beetles, pine beetles that get in the tree.
Really
They come
interesting.
down and they hibernate over the winter by burrowing into those straw belts, and so then when they take them off, they can kill them off. They don't get to go up and breed and grow more beetles.
Wow.
Cool.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
It is.
I found it really interesting when I was there. I just thought, wow, that they were doing this long ago, before they ever had poison, and that these people just kept doing it because it works.
Yeah, who needs
Works and it
poison?
doesn't poison the environment. It's
Right.
Exactly. No
What a
poisons.
concept.
I want to try it.
There are a bunch of YouTube videos out there of what you can do locally with pest control methods from like the 1800s that work just fine without poison.
wow.
Interesting.
Oh, that'd be fun to look at.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
First place, Tamara.
Of course, that's great. Yeah,
Yeah, wow, what an interesting photo. Ah.
very. She has
what do
great
we do for
captions.
beauty?
These people, I don't know.
Oh,
Well, she lives there for one, but they're really beautiful, great images she captures.
Yeah, that it helps to be there all the time.
But she's also talented.
Oh, yes.
Detail.
Sure.
Great.
She's got a great eye too for
She does.
Congratulations to Tamara.
Yes.
Pictorial, basic plus intermediate, 5 images, honorable mention, Teresa.
All right, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Great. Welcome, newbie.
Yeah.
So tell us about this. What are we looking at?
I don't think she's here anymore.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
oh, what a
Watching the
shame.
video.
oh well.
Oh, I can't tell.
It's really
It's beautiful.
Like a
I really think it's gorgeous.
I've seen these in Armstrong, kind of translucent mushrooms, but I don't know the name of it. It's
I was
gorgeous.
wondering if maybe it was a sea creature.
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think it's
like a
mushrooms.
fungus.
Well, they
It's a
just
fungus of
recently
some sort, yeah.
they just recently had a fungi festival in Guerneville.
Right, yeah.
It's a mushroom, isn't
But
it?
it's a nice capture. It really is.
I mean, there's a
Really?
mushroom, it's a mushroom, there's the stem, and it's just beautifully illuminated.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice,
That
Teresa.
Mike.
Congratulations. Honorable mention, Susan.
Oh, wow.
That is
Very
gorgeous.
nice, Susan.
Yeah.
Is she here tonight?
Is she? I don't see her name on the list.
Oh,
I don't know if she was here earlier. Well, I hope she watches the
yeah.
Yeah.
video. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Congratulations to Susan. Third place, Fritz.
Oh, Fritz.
Oh, cool.
Oh, this was your Badlands trip. Oh,
Oh my God.
I
wonderful.
don't know if he's here.
Yeah, it's
There he is.
it's the Badlands trip. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
this is so
beautiful.
great.
Yeah, it's
So
strange
inviting.
because
It
the
just
judge
makes me
said
want to
that
go so bad.
the judge said that there was too much sky up above because I had actually used generative expand, the new generative expand in Photoshop to make the sky bigger.
Oh, really?
Oh,
So that's what I did.
yeah.
Anyway,
Oh.
because I thought
I
it
think
was
it's perfect.
Was it
Anyway,
done with a
whatever.
drone?
They're done with the drone.
Yeah, it's a
The
drone shot.
drone.
It was a drone shot.
Interesting.
It makes me think I should borrow my son's drone and learn to use it.
Oh, drones are amazing, you guys. They're the future. They really are.
This just makes me want to go there so badly.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations. Second place,
Oh, nice.
Helen.
Yeah.
Helen.
Helen.
Is Helen here tonight?
Our cowgirl.
Yeah, she's here.
There
Well
she is.
done, Helen.
Wow.
Very nice.
Another beauty.
Thank you. She knows all the cool guys.
Yeah. Marlboro man.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Love his beard.
Except he's healthier.
Is it a beard or is it part of his mustache? I guess it's both.
Mustache, maybe. You're right.
It's a poll toy.
A what?
A
Old toy. Oh,
Pull,
great.
Pull toy.
Oh, toy.
Okay.
Yep. Little kids 2 years old and under think Santa Claus, and they reach out and they want to pull.
Got it.
That happened to you, Steve?
Yes. In a shopping mall, Christmas season,
Oh, I bet.
a dad
Oh my
with a
God.
little kid on his shoulder, he turned in such a way that I was suddenly within reach of this little kid, and he latched on and would not let go.
Oh, no. Oh.
Congratulations. First place.
Oh,
Again.
Oh, I love this.
Who didn't guess?
Great image.
we knew.
This backlighting is
Oh,
brilliant.
it's gorgeous.
It is
Stunning.
beautiful.
Stunning shot. Just
Beautiful.
amazing.
And the thought and the breath.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thing is just beautiful.
Perfect depth of field.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Thank you, everybody.
Congratulations. Pictorial advanced 1 image. First place.
Yeah.
Trisha.
Thank you.
Yay. I love
Definitely
that.
looks like waves for sure.
I
Yeah.
belong to another group that had a field trip out to the Napa Sonoma marshes, and the sky was just phenomenal. The whole trip was just all the way there, and once we got there. So, thank you.
Lovely.
Congratulations. Pictorial Masters 5 images. Honorable mention. Cindy.
Thank you very much.
Nice image.
Great image, yeah.
Okay.
It's really powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poignant.
I love the mud on him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is
That's
that what it is?
So much to look at there.
Yeah.
Do they put that mud on themselves? Like,
A lopsided elephant.
I'll tell you an interesting fact. The elephants do put the mud on themselves, and it's a way of keeping them cool. And if you actually break off a piece of their skin and you turn it around, it's kind of the shape of a honeycomb. So the wet mud and stuff that is on them sort of seeps in there, and it keeps them cool.
Huh.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I wonder what happened to its other tusk.
Could have been a fight or something like that.
Yeah.
Where was it taken? What country?
In Kenya, Maasai
Kenya? Because I know in Namibia there's minerals that are missing in their diet, and they lose their tusks more readily, the desert elephants. I don't know if that's true in Kenya.
I don't think it's as true. I think you're right. In Namibia, I saw that a lot too, with the shorter tusks that were kind of fractured and broken.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Third place.
Oh.
Stephanie.
Oh, wow.
Wonderful.
These were,
That is so sweet.
yeah. These were way up a tributary of the Amazon in Peru. Not an easy place to get to, but they were worthwhile, worth the trip.
yes.
Yeah, really.
They look so sweet.
But look at those.
They're curious too, it seems.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Third place.
Oh,
Linda.
Oh, Linda, she's away right now, but
Yeah, it's
I'll send her
beautiful.
an email and let her know.
this is one of the best images I've ever seen of this area. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, she did a really great job
You really did.
of that one.
I love those straw creatures crawling into the water.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Linda. Second place. Anne.
Yay!
Hey.
This is we drove up the coast to Oregon and back recently, and this was just a shot I got on the beach. And I'm a wave watcher, so that's what I was doing.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Congratulations. First place.
Somebody's naked on my Zoom.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Pat. Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, Pat.
Pretty amazing, is right.
It looks like an AI creation.
No.
I know it's not.
No, ain't Pat. I was sure it wasn't.
Just the perfection of that surrounding
the camera.
rock formation. It's just perfect.
Well, the image of the comet was taken. It is a different sky from what I had in that portal. So I did put my NeoWise into it, but
You did.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Hey, it works. And the lighting, I mean, the lighting's perfect. It looks like it really was there.
Congratulations.
Wonderful.
Monochrome, basic plus intermediate, 1 image. First place. Helen.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what country were you in?
South Africa.
Okay. So white rhino.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Looks very rested.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
You can tell the white rhino has a square lip at the bottom, and then the black rhino has a pointed lip.
Oh. And they're also rare, the black rhinos.
Yes.
They're threatened highly.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Monochrome Advanced, 3 images. Third place.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
This is from a classic car in Cuba. We recently got back from a trip to Cuba. And I was just really struck by the handle of the car. And
Amazing.
so I turned it into this black and white thing.
Almost looks like a shark taking off too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really cool.
I think it's so effective because at first I thought there was a scissors and I thought, well, that doesn't make sense. And then I saw, oh, it's a handle and oh, there's the push button. I remember that. So
Yep.
very effective.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I like the tone of the background too. Nice
Thank
green.
you.
They don't make them like that anymore.
No, but they keep them going in Cuba, let me tell you.
They do.
What model do you recall?
No, it's not what I was paying
I
attention
mean,
to.
which Cadillac or
No.
Congratulations. Second place.
Oh, pretty.
Ronnie.
Lovely.
Thank you. Thanks very much. I love tulips.
These are gorgeous.
We know.
Yeah, I just love tulips. And I see your point about the stems. I did actually crop it a little bit more. There was more stem, but yes, I see your point. Thank you.
great tonality.
Yes.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations. First place. Ellen.
Oh, Ellen, great. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I got a lot out of that jelly bean factory.
I must say.
I highly recommend anybody who wants to go.
So it's probably tasty. Eat the jelly flops.
And with your iPhone too.
Yeah.
Yes. The iPhone's better. And I'm using the Adobe Indigo for it. And you can zoom in 5 times and 10 times.
Are you using that on your phone or on your computer? Adobe
on the
Indigo.
phone.
On your phone?
Indigo on the phone.
Huh.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Monochrome Masters, 5 images. Honorable mention.
Oh, I
This is
love
great.
this.
I love that
Yeah.
image. So
I love
sharp.
this.
Is that
I do
sand or
too.
water?
Water, I
That's a
would
good
think.
question.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Looks like water to me.
It looks like water to me too.
Because Botswana has a lot of water, as you probably all know, in the delta.
That's
Just a
great.
beautiful capture.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Honorable mention, Jennifer.
Love this.
Oh,
This is
thank you.
great, Jennifer.
Oh, this was such a fun trip to Yosemite. It was timed to have the full moon there. Well, this wasn't quite full, but it was really fun to get this and
Well
yeah,
done.
I thought about, but I didn't want to make it look just like a Ansel Adams, and so I didn't.
I think that's a compliment, actually.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
it is. It was fun though. I really
it's
was.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Congratulations. Third place, Herb.
Yeah,
There's
we know.
Lori. A giveaway.
Yeah. There's Lori.
Is Herb still here?
Ah,
I saw Lori in with him where
I saw them eating dinner. Yeah.
yeah, I don't see his name on the list right now.
Oh,
Send him an email asking him to lead a field trip to the Badlands.
Yeah, that's great.
Exactly.
Along with Fritz.
yeah.
Yep.
Really?
Isn't that Butte in Utah?
I don't know. I mean, there are Badlands in several
South
different
Dakota.
states, but I don't know which one this
It's in
is.
South Dakota.
Oh,
I think this is Utah.
Looks like
Congratulations to
actually
Herb.
you.
Second place, Liz.
Long.
oh, thank you.
Yes.
This is at the marsh. Where was that? San Pablo Marsh and
Napa Sonoma.
yeah. And
Ah,
I just was intrigued by it. I don't know what else to say.
Looks like ice.
yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Congratulations.
very nice.
First place,
Ah,
Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I guessed.
I know, really.
I guessed.
I spent days on that title, really.
It's great. It works.
Finally, my wife said, just keep it simple.
Really cool.
Congratulations.
Mimics the
Thank you.
mountain.
The wave echoes the mountain.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, it really does.
that's the title. Good.
Yep, perfect title.
It must have been quite a windy day. It looks wild out there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that was some 20-foot waves that day.
Wow.
This
Wow.
was taken with a long lens, so I could get the background and get the superposition of the two. That way, the wave was quite a long ways away, but with a long lens, you could get that composition.
Great.
Very nice.
Goat Rock Beach.
You live there now,
I do too.
Only on those days.
Congratulations. Creative Basic Post Intermediate, 2 images. Second place,
Mm.
Susan.
huh? Yeah.
Love the color in that.
I do
Isn't that
too.
beautiful?
Yeah.
How she caught that shape of that thing. Talk about surreal.
Congratulations to Susan. First place, Stephen.
Stephen, yeah.
That's
That's an
Real fun.
interesting animal. Wow.
Wow. Powerful image.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Stephen.
Very nice.
Creative Advance, 2 images. Second place, Ronnie.
Oh, good.
Oh, thank you. This is one of my favorite vases, and I remember the orange and teal thing, and this vase is kind of teal, so I enhanced the color, and I'm happy. I'm happy with the way it came out.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Nice.
Pretty.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
First place, Amy.
Yeah, Amy, this is
Oh,
fun.
very
This is
nice.
great.
Very
So
cool
creative.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Thank you.
Very cool.
Well, well seen and executed.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it just like I just love the form, and so I kind of tried to stylize it. And then in my head for the past like 4 years, I've wanted to do this, and then finally sat down to do it, but it's like it's one of those ideas that been percolating for forever. So thank
You have the teal and orange too.
I did.
Yeah.
That's
But
funny.
look how the red repeats every time on the tower.
Yeah.
And that was hard to get. So I did
That
go
was
back
what?
and adjust a lot. So yeah. Thank you.
Cool.
Congratulations. Creative Masters, 2 images. Second place, Anne.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is a picture I did a long, long time ago, and I keep coming back to it because I enjoy it for some reason. I grew up in these countries, so it's been with me a long time. So I finally decided I put it in competition. So thank you.
Very nice.
Nice.
Congratulations. First place,
Mm.
Liz.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
This is great.
I think this was in the
Huzzah.
young bathroom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Great shot. Great
Really great.
modification of the image. Squad.
Corel paint.
Ah,
It's like one of the great masters paintings.
Yeah. Yeah.
like it's really compelling art.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And her gaze at the flowers. That's great.
I painted her lips. She didn't have those.
You're allowed.
Okay. Thank you.
Congratulations. And the best image of the evening goes to
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
yay.
Helen.
Well,
Good job.
well deserved.
Yeah.
I agree.
Congratulations.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well done.
They're really
Ellen, you
nice.
should go to the rules and look up the advancement rules. You could petition to advance.
Oh gosh, no, the competition's a little bit steep there.
Yeah, well, that's where you need to be.
No pressure, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, you beat out all the advanced here. all
Yep,
all
you
of
did.
the and
Think
masters.
about it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's a pity I can't get my titles and the stuff entered properly. I have such a battle. I've got to figure out what I did wrong this time.
You've got the
Apparently
team.
nothing.
The teams behind you helping.
Yeah.
congratulations.
Good shot.
Thank you.
Wonderful. What a
Wow.
great night. Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa.
Excellent.
Yes.
Good
Thank you
job.
very much.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you for your lovely images.
Thank you very much.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.